many times what happens is that we speak about it a little bit more theoretical or on a macro level, but it all comes down to our individual life. The first thing that the lady of the house told her that, okay, this is your cup and this is your plate in case when you have to eat and drink and all. And she felt so hurt.
So I offered him the glass of water and he was like, he went like that and he says, do you have another glass? And I'm like, and I didn't understand. I was like, what do you mean I have? He was like, do you have another glass? And I was like, and I thought, I said, I looked at the glass and I said, I washed it. I thought maybe he looked at something. Maybe he thought, it wasn't clean. And I said, I washed it. And he says, no, I mean, do you have another glass to give me? And his hands went like that. He wouldn't come forward to hold the glass. And I said, what do you mean another glass? I don't understand. And he says, I mean, something that you can just give to somebody like me.
The songs also which goes in Bollywood, everything has to do with white, gori, gori. And it was so funny when Indians were talking Black Lives Matter. And I was like, just look into yourself first. Black Lives Matter, you talking about them, supporting them. First, you look into your own house, whether you are willing to take someone from within your own community and accept them as they are. No.
While we were serving in Haifa, which is just a few years ago, there was a case in India where they killed a untouchable guy, killed him by beating him with sticks. His crime was he sat on a step of a temple because they're not allowed.
Well, that happened here just a few months back. Well, it's every day.
I want to add 2 points, if it's okay. I want to share some 2 points. Many times what happens is that we speak about it a little bit more theoretical or on a macro level, but it all comes down to our individual life. And this happened just day before yesterday. I was talking to my house help. So Alicia, Isha would know, I guess. Alicia, we have the luxury of having a house help coming every day in our house to do our dishes and do the mopping and sweeping of the house, cleaning the house every day. So just having a word with her, and we don't realize it, And so something we were talking about, and she said that in the other house that she goes to work, there when she was hired, the first thing that the lady of the house told her that, okay, this is your cup and this is your plate in case when you have to eat and drink and all. And she felt so hurt. She said that even if I was hungry and they would offer me, I would say, no, I've just eaten and I've come. There's such small things, but they're also human beings and we have to respect that. So, I mean, we try not to differentiate. And then I told her, God, I said, yes, I mean, we use the same plates and spoons and everything. I mean, it anyway gets washed. So, I mean, if I go to a restaurant, I don't know who, 10,000 people would have drank from the same cup. If I can't control that, why should I differentiate at home? But I told her, I said that I only feel hesitant if there's somebody who is chewing tobacco and then drinks, then I feel a little uncomfortable, but yeah, what to do? We are humans.
To add to that, when I was very young, I grew up in Pakistan and you have the similar sort of problems, not as bad as in a Hindu culture because you have so much of class and system. Being Muslim society, they're lesser, but they still have those. Somebody knocked at the door and it was a street sweeper. They have street sweepers there at that time. Now, I mean, you're getting maybe the trucks and stuff that come sweep. Here we have vehicles, the trucks and stuff that come and sweep the streets. But in those countries, they still have people who come and do these kind of things. And yes, mostly those are considered the most dirty, the most lowest, the most whatever kind of people. And in my family and my household, we never were raised that way. And this guy knocked at the door. I opened and I was quite young. I don't know, 7, 8 years old, something like that. And they call them jamadars, and everybody kind of, because they're filthy or considered that way. And he, for some reason, because I don't know why he knocked at our door, maybe because whenever I saw him, I'll smile at him or I'll say good morning or hello, which is your job, even though he was a street sweeper. For whatever reason it was, he knocked at our door and he asked for a glass of water. He said he was really thirsty if he could have a glass of water. So of course I ran inside. I said, take a seat. And he just sat next to the door. There were stairs were going up and he just sat there. I asked him to come inside and he said, no, I'm comfortable here. It's okay. So went inside, and we had some household useful utensils, because we were lots of children in the house, and you break so much stuff. So my dad was like, no, you need a stainless steel glass and a stainless steel plate so this can last. And but we were taught that when a guest comes, you actually do the actual crystal glasses and stuff, that those cultures are very much into that. And you have actual special china and stuff for serving guests. So I grabbed a crystal glass, took a water outside, and I remember it still hurts me. It still hurts me to even just like repeat this whole thing. So I offered him the glass of water, and he went like that, and he says, do you have another glass? And I'm like, and I didn't understand. I was like, what do you mean I have? He was like, do you have another glass? And I was like, and I thought, I looked at the glass and I said, I washed it. I thought maybe he looked at something. Maybe he thought, it wasn't clean. And I said, I washed it. And he says, no, I mean, do you have another glass to give me? And his hands went like that. He wouldn't come forward to hold the glass. And I said, what do you mean another glass? I don't understand. And he says, I mean, something that you can just give to somebody like me, like something you don't use for yourself. And I finally just realized what had just happened, and it just crushed my soul at that age even. And I was in tears, and I was like, no, you will drink from this glass. This is okay. Please take the glass. I washed it. It's clean. He sat there and he drank that glass of water crying. Right? These are, that's why I was saying that there are cultures and places that are so bad, so much worse. But if you came to the South here 150 to 200 years ago, that's what they used to do too, right? So, yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. I dealt with this in China, who was a communist country. They claimed they were going to get rid of all of this and all humans were equal, but they weren't.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprising.
Well, because you're poor and you're this and that and the other, you shouldn't be able to sit on my sofa, and you shouldn't come inside, and you shouldn't do this and that. And, I'm always suspicious of you and stuff like that. It hurts people's hearts.
We not only have class issues, we are also equally very racial. Yeah. Even though we are brown in color, we are very racial actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was initially. Guardian has kicked us. Why? Because I've seen more prejudice in subcontinent, so much more than America, by the way, and so blatant, so terribly blatant than here. But yet he picked us. So that's why I was saying that Mr. Mitchell's had written a very long paper on it, and he picked on that too. Why us? So he thought that because this was the most elaborate sort of color contention, if he could deal with this, then everything else would be resolved. And because God was asking Americans to lead the world spiritually, which means we need to become spiritual ourselves first, right?
Yeah, it's default. Your fair means your default. It is you're beautiful, Yeah. So you can say in our culture, like I would never be considered as beautiful, or my daughter will never be beautiful at all in Indian culture because she's brown.
Those are blind people,
And you can see that, with the songs also, which goes in Bollywood, everything has to do with white, gori, and all this nonsense.
White. That's why I tell my black friends here, I was like, this is not a white and black sort of issue here in America. Yeah. This is a permeated thing on the globe. I was prejudiced against when I was growing up because I'm the darkest in my family. And they will call me names. And there were no white people around there at all. I've never met a white person until I left Pakistan. It's not their fault. They didn't create this. Every culture has this. I don't know why.
Yeah. And the hypocrisy will come, when it's time to get married. Men, even if they're dark, it's fine. But when they get married, they want their girls to be white.
Yeah.
Fair, good looking. It should be. They will say, I don't believe in all these things. If the girl is good enough, it's well. But that particular time, the entire family would want girl, लड़की गोरी है क्या? हाँ गोरी है तो ठीक है, अच्छी है,
Yeah,
खूबसूरत
somebody
है.
said that to me. Like, even though you're kind of dark and stuffy, I think we will want you for our sons. And I was like, I'm sorry, thank you so much, but I don't want your son. They're like, how could you say that?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
And women are okay with it. The women, to a very large extent, to all this crime and evil, women have that equal share.
Oh, I say that everywhere too. I was like, the world bashes about men, but I've seen enough evil women. I'm sorry.
Women, yes, there's a woman who controls everything.
It's a human problem. Actually, if you look at any problem, any of the problem, at least that's my life experience, any of the problem we bicker about, it's a human problem. It has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with anything. You walk around, live on the globe enough, you will see that. I have. No matter where you go, both men and women, no matter what background, what color, what creeds, they have these problems. It's a disease. Yeah.
And it was so funny when Indians were talking Black Lives Matter, and I was like, just look into yourself first. Black Lives Matter, you talking about them, supporting them first, you look into your own house, whether you are willing to take someone from within your own community and accept them as they are. No.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel it's nothing like what's happening in US, Black Lives Matter. It's much more worse than what is happening in India. Every day you die.
I know that. Yeah.
Every single day you die with those.
While we were serving in Haifa, while we were serving in Haifa, which is just a few years ago, there was a case in India where they killed a untouchable guy, killed him by beating him with sticks. His crime was he sat on a step of a temple because they're not allowed.
Oh, that happened here just a few months back. Well, it's every day.
The world doesn't know this. The world doesn't talk about it.
Or a higher class person marries a lower class, like a boy and a girl of two classes. They marry. Then one of the two families gets fanatic and mad and kills one of the newly married or the bride. I mean, it's commonly happening.
Making it very clear, all of us, no matter what age, what color, what place, what gender, it's everyone's responsibility to get better.